Hey everyone, you're about to watch my short movie. I decided to just put a quick wee video in the start of the movie from my journey to Turkey, from Turkey to Stockholm, just to apologise for some of the editing. I tried to fix the narration, but I couldn't get it timed correctly whenever I put it with the video. But I really hope you enjoy it, and have a good day. See ya. How's it going, everybody? Ewan Craig here, and this is a short movie from my flight from Turkey to Munich and then from Munich to Stockholm. So I spent 2.5 months in Turkey. Got to see my mum again after 3 years. Absolutely awesome time, a lot of partying, and it was good to see a lot of old friends. So I got a lift to the airport with my auntie Jill and my mum, and this is us just arriving at the airport, going up the ramp. And in the departure lounge, after everything went smoothly, I met these two German guys, and they were really nice, and they taught me a lot about Munich and stuff and things I should go see and do, and they wrote it all out for me. And Eddie was one of their names. I can't remember the other guy's name, sorry. But whenever I landed in Munich, it was met up with these guys. Said thanks for earlier, and they said, "Oh, you can get a lift with us." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome," because I don't know really how to catch the train. So here we are on the autobahn. Um, we went past Bayern Munich's ground, saw a whole lot of cool things, and the cars are amazing. There's so many nice cars in Germany. Porsches everywhere. All the taxis are like E-class Mercs. Oh, it's class. So if the guys that give me a lift are watching this, thank you so much for the lift and teach me a lot about your city. It was great fun. And then we went out later that night after I got into my hostel. Me and Eddie went out and had some Hefeweizen beer, which is absolutely delicious, and you can see that now. Went to Kennedy's Irish bar, typical, and met their friend Chris, who's in the middle there. We had an absolutely awesome time, then went and got pizza and had another beer. So I was a wee bit tipsy by the end of the night, because that beer is a wee bit strong. It's absolutely delicious, so it is. It's so nice. So the next morning after breakfast, out of the hostel by about 7:45, and started going around and seeing the beautiful city of Munich. And you can just see the roads and stuff here, and the trams, and the cycling is just nuts. There's cycle lanes, and it's very important. You don't walk on the cycle lane. There's like, they go very quick, and there's lots and lots of bikes. But most of my footage in Munich is going to be of beautiful buildings and architecture. So if you're not really into that, good luck. That's the cycle lane there, the wide bit beside the road and in between the squared pavement. And there really is a lot of bikes going around Munich, which you'll see later on. I saw this fountain, and I was sort of annoyed because people threw rubbish around it, as you can see. I was like, that's a bit of a shame, because it's actually quite a cool wee fountain. And there's a building you saw earlier, absolutely beautiful. This is one of the first buildings I saw, and whenever you see the rest of the video, you know what I mean by the architecture is just so cool. Well, that's the thing I like to do whenever I go to a new city. I love to see the buildings and stuff. That's one reason I really want to go back to Prague. I'll go see all the amazing buildings there. And there's really interesting statues all over Munich City. It was just a shame I didn't speak German, so I couldn't really understand anything. But the people there are very nice. So what I found interesting was, while I was walking around, there's a lot of old buildings like this, but they've made it so it actually like blends in with the modern buildings as well. They don't like stand out ugly or anything, and I think that's a really important fact of keeping your city, looking great. And this is probably one of the most interesting statues I've ever seen. I'm not too sure what it stands for or anything. But the detail in it seems really, really good, and I like just the water feature. And these wee seats and stuff where people come on their lunch break and relax and have a coffee or just chill out in the summer. It was really, really warm in Munich. I think I brought the sun there. This is a big shopping centre, I believe. And sorry, you can hear me sniffling, guys. My hay fever's a bit bad today, so my apologies. So yeah, I don't know how big Munich is actually, but see, it's not the smallest of cities, but I don't think it's absolutely massive either. Um, and those sunglasses I was just wearing, they got broken, which I'm pretty good at about. They got broken in between my flight from Munich to Germany. Somehow my bag must have sat on it or something. It's pretty annoyed. So if anybody is interested in going to Munich, send me a message. And if anybody knows more about Munich, and you have been there, let me know, and I'll definitely keep you in touch for anybody that I know that wants to go to Munich, and if you'd like to help some people out. So this is like the deli, and the food smells so good early in the morning. Oh my goodness, it's all fresh baked. And these are the cuckoo clocks, which is I think it's like a more Bavarian thing that they I met a guy that actually made these, and the price for them is absolutely nuts. And one was like 4 or 5 thousand euros, and it was quite a large one. I was inside another shop later on in the day, and then you've got, I don't know what it is with the wee action figure people there, and then you've got these trinkets. I think they're called trinkets, like cups, and they're not cheap either. Some of them can be cheap, but the detail, as you can see, and I apologize for the glare in the glass. I'm just using my old wee LG phone. As you probably know, I lost my S4 on the bus in Turkey because I'm a silly person. So yeah, I did my best to like slow it down a bit. I didn't really know how quick I was going, but hopefully it looks okay. There's another one that was, really nice buildings. The flowers outside it, and then there's these bronze sort of, I don't know what they're made of, statues of boars, and then there's a catfish, should be coming up. Yeah, I don't know what they stand for, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then you'll see, I love this building that you're about to see, how it bends round, and that actually goes round quite a long way, so it does. There's a wee selfie. And then this building here is absolutely magnificent. So what you're about to see, all the cyclists, and then there's a bicycle painted in the middle of the road. That's what I mean about how nuts it is. Now this is probably the highlight for me, this building right here, and it is a shame because at the bottom there you can see they're doing a lot of work to around this area, or I don't know if they're actually working on the building or not. You can see all the statues. As I said, I'm just using my wee phone camera, so the quality's not superb, and I'm not professional, so it's it's just such a beautiful city. I really hope a lot more people go there from seeing this. A lot of my friends go there from seeing this video, because just in one day I saw so much amazing stuff, and I didn't even cover most of it. As I didn't have a lot of time because I had to get to the train station and get to the airport. And with the ticketing system in the train station, yeah, make sure you get your ticket first before you go on the platform. If you're ever in, I think that's in most European cities now, and because yeah, I did that. I went to the platform looking for where I could buy a ticket, and I had to go the whole way upstairs and almost missed the train. As you saw that we meet shop there, I went in there, and there was actually a police officer, and he was quite shocked, but the woman wouldn't let me video or take photographs, so I was just like, oh, sorry, and started running out. So that's why that clip was very short. And then I ended up in this marketplace, and you can see this girl there on the left. I ended up asking her about why that woman shouted at me and told me to get out, and she was just like, yeah, well, some people are just unhappy in life. So I found that quite amusing. Then I came to this really open square, which some guy had sort of directed me to, because I was looking for something else, and then I just came across this instead, before getting the right directions to go to Hofsgarden, which you'll see later on. But this is sort of the place where people come on their lunch or in the morning or at night, come and relax with their friends. There's benches all over the place, and there's a statue here which I walked over to quite excited, because hoping it would have it in English writing, but it didn't, unfortunately. So, well, I'm not too sure what it's to do with. Now, I think this is the Parliament buildings and the museum. You're looking at the museum now, and that's a big statue of a guy sitting on a throne. Uh, so much. Every building has its own uniqueness. Is that a word? Uniqueness. Uh, and they're very big buildings. The buildings are very big. It's like that's standing at the bottom of the stairs. Sort of, I think that's a monument. There's in this square, and then you'll just see how big those lions are. It's like that's a huge. It's pretty big, so it is. And then this building's getting work done to it. They've put this cover on it, so if I ever go back to Munich, hopefully it's finished. This is a big square. I'm not too sure what it's to do with. And then this is Hoftsgarten, and this is another amazing place. So I believe the flagpoles. This probably has something to do with royalty or something like that. It's a very big area, so it is. On a map, it doesn't really look large, but it is. It is definitely very large. I realized that it was coming close to like 10 or half 10 or 11, and I had to get back to the hostel to check out. So I was rushing around trying to get as much good footage as possible. But it's absolutely beautiful. See all the statues on the top there. And I wish I'd known somebody else that would go around with me during the day, as there's that much to take in, and I would have liked to have learnt more about Munich, use more websites and stuff. But it was only for one day I was there. Well, not even one day. Like, I think I was there, what's that, like 14 hours, something like that, or 12 or 13 hours even. I didn't get much sleep either, so I was pretty tired. These are like the gardens, and so well kept. It's absolutely beautiful. I love how the floors and everything are decorated out, and I think I felt like a real tourist. I probably sound like a real tourist saying beautiful so much and how amazing things are, but it has been a while since I did something like this, so I really wanted to make the most of the time I had and take it all in. So these are just wee fountains, like sort of eelfish, and all these stones. I think there's probably all handmade. This is all handmade, sort of sculptured in, and I think it's so artistic and great. And the floor as well. And it's a very old building, as you can tell. And it's great to see that these things are still in such great condition and people look after them so well. As in other parts of the world, you'd have this and there'd be graffiti and stuff, and so I met an Irish couple while I was in there, and I asked them if they could take a photograph, and I got chatting to them, and they were just over for a 4-day trip, and it was an absolute pleasure to get chatting to them, because they told me some other things that I should go and see. But I didn't have time, so I came back to my hostel. Euro Youth Hostel, that's the badge for it. Really good hostel. If you saw my other video, I highly recommend it, and they have a really nice breakfast, and the hostel is really clean. Then I was at the airport far too early, but I was just worried something was going to go wrong, and then I saw my favourite old drink from Australia, which I was so surprised. So I sat outside in the wee lunch area, and a wasp started attacking me, so I went back inside. But I just thought it was absolutely amazing that, in this airport it has a nice wee outside area where families can sit and have some food, or you can go for a beer and have a cigarette if you want to. And then I was in the departure lounge, and it was, as I was flying to Sweden this time, there was I started to realise and this is me in Sweden now, so it is. I was just a wee bit too tired to make a lot of footage because I had very little sleep while I was in Munich. So just came off the airport. This is me heading towards the train station. I got my monthly bus pass, got a SIM card, and I think my number is 0729097849 if anybody wants to contact me while I'm in Sweden. And I thought the airport was it was amazing. So then I got on the train, and this is just how green it was. There's one of the old Swedish like barn houses, and you see them everywhere. I think they're really cute. And it sounds weird, it's like a house is cute, but the wee red and white houses. So the next day, Elva and I went to the personal ID office to get like a tax file number, personal ID number, which you need to have to get a job, but you actually need to have a job contract to get one. And then later on, I did some more sightseeing, went round the markets, and these big orange trays, these are all a type of mushroom that the Swedes love, and I didn't actually realize it was. I probably should have got better footage. I apologize for that, but I was just walking around, very interested in everything. And Stockholm city, it's very beautiful with the cobblestone streets, even the city centre. That they have like similar to Belfast, like the roads like this or the pavements like this, and then you go into Old Town, and it's so neat and beautiful and cute, and it's like a really romantic set out wee alleyways and stuff. And it has like the smallest alleyway in Sweden, which I saw last night while Joe and Elva and I were out for a beer, and I think it's 1/2 meter wide at the max. So I walked around, saw a few shops, and then went into the Old Town, saw the Parliament buildings, which will be coming up very soon, hopefully. I hope I put them in the video. And there was a festival on, yeah, and I didn't go down. There was loads of people, as you can see. I wanted to keep on going, but I believe those are dancers, and there was a concert on later that night, which was quite loud, and the music was very interesting. So yeah, here's the Parliament buildings, and the bridge, and the river's so beautiful in Stockholm, so it is. And I did watch a video like last year. My friend Casper Peterson showed it to me that there was a guy actually was on a boat and just started drinking the water out of the river. It's that clean. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that. Don't worry, Mum. But it has to be good. And this is Virgin, I think. Is this? Yeah, we're getting close to Old Town now. Yeah, this is Old Town. The very start of it. The wee tiny streets. Loads of tourists. Loads of wee neat shops.